What happens when a $28 billion semiconductor mega project meant to establish America as a chip-making powerhouse suddenly gets pushed back by half a decade? Welcome to DigiTrends Daily, your go-to source for the latest in tech and innovation. Today, we're diving into Intel's Ohio chip fab delay, why it's happening, what it means for the semiconductor industry, and whether Intel is losing its edge. So, what exactly is happening? Intel's $28 billion Ohio 1 project was first announced in 2022. It was expected to start production by 2025 to 2026. Now, the first fabrication plant won't be ready until 2030, with the second following in 2031 to 2032. What's behind this massive delay? Market demand and economic conditions. Intel originally planned the Ohio fabs during the pandemic-era chip shortage when demand was skyrocketing. Now, PC sales have declined and semiconductor demand in some sectors has cooled off. Intel wants to align production with actual customer demand rather than rush into overproduction. Financial constraints. Intel's foundry business is losing money and the company is cutting back on capital spending. The company has already gone through mass layoffs and budget cuts, prioritizing profitability over aggressive expansion. Spreading out the $28 billion investment over a longer period helps Intel manage its finances more effectively. The delay allows Intel to ensure that Ohio's fabs will launch with the latest cutting-edge chip manufacturing tools. Intel plans to use high numerical aperture extreme ultraviolet lithography, which costs over $300 million per tool. This future-proofs the facility, ensuring that by 2030, it can produce next-gen semiconductors. Intel is receiving $7.9 billion in federal subsidies under the CHIPS Act, but the funding process has been slow. Government conditions like profit-sharing requirements and US-only manufacturing mandates may have also made Intel cautious about moving too fast. So, is this a calculated move or a setback for America's semiconductor future? Intel's delay doesn't just affect the company. It has huge consequences for the US semiconductor industry. This delay means the US will remain dependent on foreign chip makers like TSMC and Samsung longer than expected. Companies relying on high-performance chips, including AI firms, automakers, and defense contractors, may still need to source chips from overseas. Intel's project was expected to create 3,000 permanent jobs and 7,000 construction jobs. While construction is still happening, the full economic impact is delayed, hurting local businesses that were expecting an earlier boom. The US government considers domestic chip production a national security priority. A delay means the US is still vulnerable to supply chain disruptions, especially in AI, 5G, and defense. Intel insists the project is still moving forward, just on a longer timeline. But critics argue this delay raises doubt about US chip-making ambitions. Intel's risks include falling behind TSMC and Samsung, which continue advancing at full speed. They're also struggling to secure major foundry customers, which could hurt its long-term growth. Additionally, Intel is facing public and government skepticism over whether it can deliver on its promises. Industry-wide concerns are also at play. The United States is still far from chip self-sufficiency, and this delay keeps it that way. Moreover, CHIPS Act funding has been slow, raising questions about whether it's making a real impact. But on the flip side, if demand for AI, self-driving cars, and next-gen computing skyrockets by 2030, Intel's Ohio fabs could be perfectly positioned to dominate. The delay also allows Intel to deploy more advanced manufacturing tech, ensuring it doesn't invest in outdated tools. So, is this delay a smart business move or a sign of struggles with Intel? It seems it's a bit of both. We want to hear from you. Is Intel making a strategic long-term move or falling behind in the AI chip race? Does this delay hurt US semiconductor ambitions? Or does it make business sense? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to DigiTrends Daily and turn on notifications to stay ahead of the biggest tech trends.